All right, here we go, guys. Good morning to you. We've got quite a few people on the call today, and this is a very exciting call, being that we have new products to talk about. And Jared has been a great relationship with Aspen Medical Products for many years. All of our clients that have been to our training have been exposed to it, and they have some new devices today that are going to save you some money. With durable medical equipment, we have a lot of references on the website as far as training and implementation. And this is the first step with a chiropractic or even an acupuncture office that are joining us to implement. They've got to get their durable medical equipment in, and the greatest reimbursement for the product, fitting most of the needs of your patients, is going to be the lower back bracing. And durable medical equipment, otherwise referenced as DME, is a service center that provides not only lower back bracing, but TENS units and ankle bracing. It could be any joint needing support. The webinar today is specific to the Aspen Medical Products, and Jared's going to go through the new products and the new pricing for you. And they've designed a one-size-fit-all brace to fit the needs, so we don't have a big inventory issue. And the pricing and the design is going to fit great into your practice model for you to have the maximized investment and return on investment. So without further ado, Jared, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to you after I show them the website, just so everybody's familiar with it. The website that we have with PBS, we have a section on there that's section 4 called DME equipment. And you'll see that we have the initial webinars titled 0-1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, going through not only the actual discussion on the products, but we actually have the paperwork authorizing for durable medical equipment, and down here at the bottom are your letters of medical necessity that we're going to use to not only get it authorized, but to document the distribution of the equipment and what's needed. Now, Jared, if you can, I'm going to, let's see, could they see my screen? Nope, they couldn't see my screen there. Let me go, give me a second here. I want to pull that on my side just so everybody can see. When we look at the website, you'll see section 4, DME, with all of the videos up here. And one of the videos is going to be LSO brace, and that's going to be Steve's staff distributing that equipment. So it shows you how to use that. Here's your letters of medical necessity to use for the distribution and the documentation. The training is on there. This webinar today will be posted in the 2013 webinars and talk about the use of the DME equipment that Jared's going to present right now. So Jared, I'm turning it back over to you. There we go. So the webinar is all yours, Jared. Now what I'll do is I'll stay on to handle the telephone questions that the clients may have, and we'll do that at the end of the presentation. After Jared does his presentation, everybody should stay on the line because we've got a special guest, Dr. Antos, who has the Durable Medical Equipment Accreditation program. He's one of our new vendors that is going to help each of your clients, each of your offices implement the DME, get the accreditation that they're needing nowadays to be able to continue distributing durable medical equipment, not only to major medical, but to Medicare patients. So, Jared, I'm not going to talk anymore. It's all yours, man. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks, Pat. Hi, my name is Jared Maluski. I'm Corporate Accounts Manager for Aspen Medical Products. First I want to congratulate each of you for making the decision to join PBS. I've had the privilege of working with PBS for almost 6 years now. And I've seen what they've been able to do for their clients and for their clinics, and it's certainly probably the most important relationship that we here at Aspen have. And they really just do a great job showing their practices how to be compliant, how to be give the best patient care, and also how to turn a profit. So I want to congratulate each of you for making that decision and that step. That's a very important step in the development of your practice. Aspen Medical Products has been around for about 30 years now in one form or another. Aspen as an entity just celebrated our 20th anniversary, and we are fully committed to spinal bracing. And we offer a full line of spinal bracing from everything for post-trauma to post-surgical, all the way down to pain management. We focus heavily on R&D and development and really doing the research to understand how the products work, how they can help your patients, and really documenting the philosophy and doing the research to help make sure that it's a viable option for each of you to utilize in your practice. I've got the distinguished pleasure today to actually launch several new product lines today with the PBS membership. We've got a new cervical collar that more and more of our multidisciplinary clinics are picking up, and we're going to talk about. And then I've got a full new lower spine line as well that includes a LSO, TLSO, LO. So it's really important to focus in on offering a full product offering to your patients. And one of the things that when clinics get audited is they want to make sure that they're not just driving profit and putting the same brace on everyone. And by utilizing the Aspen system, you're able to really have all the options necessary to offer custom and individual treatment for each of your patients and make an invested decision as to what product's going to fit best in the patient's care. So we're going to talk about a little bit of that as well today. So the first product I wanted to talk about was the Vista multi-post cervical collar. The PBS membership price is $75. The L code is L0180, and Medicare reimbursement can be anywhere between $431 to $323. You're probably, a lot of you are saying here, well, I don't currently utilize cervical collars in my practice, and I don't know that it really has a place for it. I think it's probably something more that belongs in the hospital. Well, more and more what we're seeing is that the doctors are bringing cervical collars in as a way to help treat cervical pain, particularly cerviogenic headaches and cervical spasm. Well, how does that work? Classically we've thought about cervical collars as a way of restricting motion, but they do more than that. They actually cradle the axial load of the head. So when a patient has cerviogenic headaches caused by the spasming of muscles up at the axis, what a cervical collar can do is that if worn for about an hour a day, it actually cradles the weight of the head, allows those muscles to offload a little bit and stop the spasm. And with wearing the product for only about an hour a day, you can actually help treat those headaches and stop some of the spasm and stop the spasm so that way your interventions can be more and more effective. So not only is this a great profit engine, not only this is a great tool to give to your patients to take home and use at home while they're watching TV or after work, but it's a great product to help that's really in line with everything you're currently doing. So the Vista multi-post cervical collar is a product that is available now. It's adjustable front and back. It's a one-size-fits-all product that you can help use to help bring your patients some therapy to home with your patients. So it's a great product. It's something that our reps can help talk to you about, and more and more of our multidisciplinary clinics are using this in their practices. Now I want to talk about the new Horizon line, and the Horizon line is a product that's very versatile, super low profile, and we've launched it about a month ago, and it has been by far the fastest selling product that Aspen's ever launched in our almost 30 years now. The Horizon line is meant to meant to mimic the curves and the profile of our very popular Summit and Evergreen lines. However, it's also meant to be fully adjustable, so that if you have one stocking unit of each product code, you're able to fit anyone that walks through the door from 24 inches all the way up to 70 inches. It's a best-in-class product, super high quality, very comfortable. It's going to have a lot of the design hallmarks that have made Aspen products so effective, and we're going to go into that a little bit. it's got that credibility and brand recognition that comes with the Aspen name. You know you're getting good quality products. You know the products have been researched. They've been spent several years in design. The Horizon product, actually the first mock-up of the design was over 6 years ago before we have actually released it. So it's been a long time coming, and we're very excited about it. Very aesthetically pleasing, very kind of almost Oakley-esque, to use the term. Low profile, high quality, and it's going to be very effective. And that at the end of the day is key, is that you want to have a product that's going to be effective to give the best patient outcomes, because what you know is that having the best patient outcome is what keeps the referrals coming into your office, keeps the patient coming back, and ultimately has a bigger impact on your business than anything else you can be doing. So the Horizon line really breaks down into 4 and then into 5 pieces. It's the Horizon 456 TLSO, the Horizon 637 LSO, the Horizon 631 LSO, the Horizon 627 lumbar, and then they all break down into the very low profile pain management, pain relief orthosis. So each one of these will break down into the low profile brace as well. So with every one, you're getting at least 2 braces in one. So how does it adjust? Well, the adjustment system is very, very sleek and very easy. You can see how it fits from 24 to 70 inches by folding the brace over, and hopefully these 2 images do a good job to show you how that works. You're able to adjust, and then we have an extension panel for those bigger patients that are maybe 50 to 70 inches around. Very slick, very easy to adjust. Put the brace in place, and it's something you could do very, very quickly. We've got these markers as well to make sure that the sides are being adjusted accurately from left to right, because you want to make sure the sides are the same length. Now, when we look at the extension panel, what we have here is we've got if you can see on the right over here, there's 2 extension panels that will give you that extra 20 inches from 50 to 70 inches. Those are provided from Aspen at no cost to the provider. And if you look down in the picture under the number 4 there, you can see how it just integrates into the brace and becomes part of it and just continues the design. So let's look at the actual products. All the products adjust that way. Let's look at the actual products. The Horizon 456 is a product that I believe is probably underutilized in the chiropractic and multidisciplinary realm. This product is great to help get patients back in the functional mid-range. So when you have someone who's leaned forward, who's maybe kyphotic or getting moving towards kyphosis, this is a product that's going to help pull the patient upright, get them back into that functional mid-range, maybe restore balance and tidal volume of the lungs, but really help to relieve pain and restore mobility. Great tool for those little old lady types, and even some of those patients with mid-thoracic pain to help retract the shoulder blades and relieve the pain and get them back into the posture they need to be. Very low profile. This is actually the lowest profile 456 Aspen's ever offered. In profile in the back and side to side on the back panel. So this is a great option. We should follow up with your sales rep or with myself, and we'll make sure we get you a sample so that you can see how the product works and see how it really can help benefit a lot of the patients that typically are the harder patients for you to treat, and this could really have a big effect. Typical protocol in this brace is to wear the product maybe for 1 or 2 hours a day, even if it's while vacuuming or doing the dishes. Help offload some of those overworked musculature, restore balance, relieve pain, keep patients moving while they're not at your clinic, and ultimately you could see some huge strength gains from just keeping the patients active and keeping them a little bit more upright. The PBS membership price for the Horizon 456, which codes at the L0456 code. With the Horizon line, we've named the products by the code so that way it's easier for your billing staff. So Horizon 456 bills at L0456. Membership price is $175, and reimbursement's typically around $1,000. So it's a great profit engine, but it's also a great tool to help patients that you probably have some difficulty treating, and this is a great way to give them better benefit. As we move into the next product, we've got the Horizon 637. The coding on that is L0637, and the Horizon 637 will cover from T9 to S1 on the back panel. You can see it there, the high back panel. It's going to add lateral supports as well as the anterior panel. So this is going to give the patient stability around the trunk and around the core. If you look, the panels are removable. And if you look at the picture in the right-hand side, you can see how you just take this panel and Velcro it right into the side of the brace, still allowing that lateral stability, however, being super low profile and something that can be ultimately removed if you deem the patient is at the point of the rehab cycle where they're able to remove that panel as well. Reimbursement on this is typically between $1,000 and $1,200, depending on where you are in the country, and the price for PBS members is $135. So we've got very aggressive on the pricing for your membership. Moving forward, we've got the Horizon 631. The code on that is L0631. It's basically the same brace as the Horizon 637. However, it does not have the lateral panels. So you're able to stock the 637 and then break it down to the 631 by just simply removing the panels if you want to, or you could buy the 631 and just use that on your patients. It's going to give that effective compression directly to the paraspinal muscles, trying to compensate for the spasming. And by giving that direct compression and making the trunk more robust, we can actually help coax some of those muscles out of guarding, allow the musculature to be dynamic, and therefore it won't attack some of your interventions in your clinic if we could keep the muscles from spasming and knocking out the alignment. The PBS membership price is $115, so it does have a very aggressive price point, and again, this is the one-size-fits-all product. And then we moved to our Horizon 627 product. No surprise, the Horizon 627 is coded at L0627. This product is an lumbar orthosis. It's going to provide compression between L1 and L5, give some stability to the trunk, and this can also be broken down even further to the Perel. The price for PBS membership is $80, and the reimbursements between $350 and $450, depending on where you are in the country. With all these products, as I mentioned, they're modular, so you can actually take the brace and step it down as the patient improves in their rehab cycle, and you get this whole continuum of care to be able to step the patient down and just provide the compression they need. All the Aspen products are super high quality. We've got pretty much a lifetime warranty on all these products. So it's important that the brace you give now can be stepped down to a lower profile brace, so that when they feel better, they have other options, because these braces are high quality. They're going to be around for a while, so you want to give the patient something that's going to last them and give them support over the next several months as they get better and better. So with the construction of the Horizon, we spent a lot of time really trying to figure out the best way to do this. One of the things that some of the competitive products do is they use a bracing material that really doesn't allow too much support. It's a stretchy, more elastic material that'll just crumble down and ultimately won't give the support necessary to affect the musculature the way you need it to. So with the Aspen product, as we lay the sides over to adjust the product, we had to construct a system that was going to allow for stability but also flexibility, so that way the brace will move with the patient as they move. And the way we've accomplished that is we've come up with the flexible anterior panel. So we have the dual anterior panels that when they come together, it's going to be rigid. However, they're flexible so that way they don't dig in on the patients. That's a very similar design to the Summit product that many of you probably used and really enjoyed. With the side panels on this, what we did was we've got these 3 bands. So we've got 3 bands of stability that are allowed to move closer together or pull further away as the patient moves. So as you move, rather than just having the sides fold over on themselves and bunch up, this is able to maintain stability, yet has that flexibility between the bands so that they can move together and really maintain the compression that you need without really pinching or causing the patient to any pain. It's actually going to give that stability and live with the patient, and that's very important with the Aspen products. The back panel is flexible so that way when you tighten it down, it's going to conform to the lordotic curve and deliver that compression directly where you need it. So, and in doing that, the way we do that is we take advantage of the Slick Track system. The Slick Track system is the one that's been found on all our products. It offers a 4-to-1 mechanical advantage, so that way every pound your patient pulls, you're actually going to get 4 pounds of compression in the back. So we're maximizing the little effort becomes a lot of compression, and we're isolating it directly in the back and right on those paraspinal muscles to help relieve that pain and relieve that spasm. A unique feature of the Aspen product is that when you pull the right side, it'll tighten the top. You pull the left side, it'll tighten the bottom. That's going to do 2 things. That's going to provide the compression where you want it, either at the top of the back or the lower part of the back, so that way you can deliver that compression where you need it. The second thing that's going to do is allow the brace to customize to the patient. So if someone has a large hip-to-waist ratio, the pear-shaped body, you actually tighten the top more than the bottom. That's going to allow the brace to vary and conform to the body so that way it's not going to migrate around. However, it's going to allow for that localized compression right where you need it. So it's going to conform and uniquely customize to the patient's anatomy. And that's so important because the product is inelastic. It doesn't stretch away, so that way when you tighten it down, you're using that compression effectively and really increasing stability of the torso. So that's kind of the 2 new product lines we have. We've got the cervical collar, which I hope more and more of you are going to look to integrate into your practice. It's a great tool. I know you're seeing a lot of cervical patients, and it's a great way to help your patients at home, especially with the forward head carriage issues that you're seeing associated with life in front of a computer. We've also got that 456 that's become a very popular product to help treat the mid-thoracic pain and help the patients get back in that functional mid-range, and then the very popular LSO products. So if you want to see them, we should have videos available soon. We could get our sales reps out to you. As many of you know, we've got 30 sales reps across the country who live fairly local to you, and we'd love to get our reps out to you, work with your practice, work on the protocols, really look at what you're doing with your product, and rather than just using a one-size-fits-all, I'm going to put this on everybody, let's make decisions based on patients' needs of what products they need, so that way we're offering a high-level service to your patients. The best way to get in touch with us is you can either call myself. My cell phone's always on, and I'm available, 203-887-3456. I went to college in Connecticut, but live in California now, so I never changed the phone number, typically on the West Coast, but I travel across the country. Email is a great way to reach me. It's jmilewski, M-I-L-E-W-S-K-I, @aspenmp.com. You could talk to your local rep to see the new products, which I'm sure many of you have met with your local reps, or at least know who they are. And if you don't know who your local rep is, I could provide it, or you could call the Aspen customer service team here. The number there is 800-295-2776. And you know what? With the Horizon product, you can also see that we've really got everyone fit with a product that's going to be effective, going to give that effective support, and really ultimately drive the pain relief and the better patient outcomes that's going to drive your business and keep your patients happy. So that's the whole presentation. We could wait for questions till after Dr. Antos is done, if that's what you want, Dr. Pat.
Yeah, Jared, I just want to make sure that everybody's clear that while you have a number of different lower back brace options, we still, from PBS's standpoint, as long as the patients hit the criteria, we still recommend doing the LO631. The 3.7, while it does get paid more, does have some conflicts with in-network coverage because they down-coded it. And the 2.7 is something that's reimbursed substantially less than the 3.1, correct?
Yes. You're looking at about $1,000 versus about $400.
Right. So when the clients are out there choosing what brace to carry, we do recommend that they stock primarily the 3.1. They could carry a couple of the 3.7s and then the 2.7s. And the 2.7, that might fit for more of like a cash type of delivery to the patients, whereas if you only get one lower back brace per year, if not per case, do you find that they're able to write out an order for these equipment pieces every year, or is it something that they only get to do one of?
You know, typically if the indications haven't, or the diagnosis hasn't changed, it's typically every 5 years. You know, I think that Dr. Antos, because he's a practicing clinician and is currently offering bracing in his own practice, might have some better insights to that as well.
Okay, great. Well, you know, that's good. So everybody just stay on track with that, and if we have any questions, we can always ask Dr. Antos towards the end there. But we do, from my experience, recommending the 3.1 over the 2.7 is going to fit better with most of the patients, because if you only get one, you might as well give the more useful device longer term. So, Jared, I'm going to turn over the presentation to Dr. Antos right now.
Great.
And Dr. Antos, you're with us right now. Jared, I'll pull your audio back on towards the end in case there's any question. Thank you very much, Jared. Dr. Antos, the floor is all yours. I'm going to do a little intro for you, if that's okay.
Very good.
Great. So everybody knows there has been quite a bit of confusion as far as DME. I'm going to take the presentation over just a second to reference something that we've put onto the website. And that website, under the DME section, we're not going to find the write-up, but on the 2013 updates, I did a write-up in here that goes through called Credentialing of Providers. And this is a write-up explaining some of the challenges that clients have been facing with the changes of DME and the accreditation program. In the write-up, we standardly would say that with our clients, they were able to get the 855S filled out, which is the form needed to submit to Medicare to get your DME PTAN number. And I've written this to clarify how the process goes. Now, what we're finding with some of the major medical carriers is that they're requiring that you be an accredited facility, even though they're not Medicare. Medicare requires that you have a DME PTAN number for billing Medicare patients for durable medical equipment. Now, major medical carriers are even taking it a step further, saying that, yeah, well, it's a covered benefit, but you have to be accredited. So if you're finding that to be true, then you're going to take the next step with even the major medical. Let's say you don't even do Medicare. You're going to need to be an accredited facility to continue to do DME. So our recommendation is that as a clinic, we know that you all have a lot of expenses putting in the medical and getting the DME equipment, but we recommend that as soon as you can, you go through and become an accredited facility, because DME is still going to be anywhere from 10 to 15% of your gross collections based on the type of patient that we're treating. So after you get all the Medicare paperwork done, you should look and get the services in and you're stable, then you should look at going into the next step and becoming an accredited facility. I'm going to leave it to Dr. Antos to explain more about the requirements and make sure that we're as clear as we can. But know that Dr. Antos has been brought on because he's an expert in this field, and he's going to provide you with the support that you need going through establishing the manuals in your office, getting the accreditation, getting you to the right place to become an accredited facility, and making sure that your numbers are recognized by the insurance carriers so that the services that are needed to be provided to the patients are going to get paid for in your clinic. So without me talking anymore, Doc, I'm going to turn it back over to you so that they can see your screen. And I'm so happy. When we found you, Doc, it was a very good day for me, because you can imagine the type of questions and confusion that our clients are faced with, and getting them to somebody of your caliber is just going to make their implementation that much easier. So thank you very much for coming on today and being a part of our group. So the floor is yours. Please tell these clients all about their DME and your services and how we can get them accredited as facilities to provide DME.
Okay. On your screen now, there should be a blue screen that says durable medical equipment. Is that right?
Yes, I can see durable medical equipment, the use of lumbar bracing in chiropractic practice.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is use some slides from a PowerPoint program. I taught lumbar bracing and Medicare DME certification and compliance in Florida for a number of years for license renewal credits. And so I'm going to use some of those slides. So the references there are to that. For people who are a private client of mine, the PowerPoint slides are available to them. Anyway, real quickly, what I do with our company, which is called Antos and Associates, is I help people with a variety of issues involving DME, specifically Medicare. Now, on the screen now is my name and our website address. If someone goes to the website, on the front page, there's all sorts of different information for people. They can find out more about DME and various uses and things like that. Email address is there for you, and the phone number. It's also on the website. That email address gets to me directly, and if you have any questions, you can shoot them to me, and we can converse back and forth. My phone number there as well. That's my personal cell phone number. Feel free to use that and or text me with questions or concerns. What do we do? Well, what my company does is assist doctors and other facilities, such as physical therapists, pharmacists, chiropractors, MDs, with accreditation, certification, and revalidation issues and applications for Medicare DME federal program. Every single type of physician or facility has slightly different needs that they have to do for Medicare DME, the federal program for our Medicare folks. And when you are involved with that, getting your paperwork in order and getting it correctly done is an absolute must, not only to get licensed to be able to do this and be paid for it, but also in case you're audited in the future for any reason. You want things bulletproof, and that's what we help with. I also assist my individual clients that have unique Medicare DME issues, and there are lots and lots of them. We get clients all the time that have DMEs, that they're having some various issues, and we're able to help them with that and get those through. The stories I could give you are amazing. And then, of course, help with education and compliance concerns that you may have, whether it's getting the right type of brace for a patient or getting the documentation in order, or some issues that you may have. For instance, in hearing that you talked about using the different braces, the 2.7, 3.1, and 3.7, I can give you a number of different pearls on that. We have a large number of clients that when they use a 3.1 or 3.7 in a case that's severe, for instance, as we all know, in a month or two, they're probably not using that brace anymore, and it's up on the shelf, but they still have some issues. It is possible to step down to a 2.7 brace if it's appropriate and done correctly. In other words, that patient can get in their clinical plan 2 braces, billed and paid for by Medicare, that is approved. Oftentimes, the 2.7 brace is what we call an activity brace that helps them prevent from being injured when they're lifting their grandchildren, working in the yard, playing golf or tennis or whatever. But we talk more about that with our clients, and when that's indicated, there's a chance for increased service, not only to the client, but then increased profitability to the clinic. Costs to become a private client of mine, there's a one-time fee, $989, which roughly is the net profit on one brace. It has to be a 3-7 brace or some of the others. And it includes coaching through the entire certification process for people that are not involved. Some people need small amounts of help. Some people need lots and lots of help. It doesn't matter. We make sure that we get you through the process as correctly and efficiently as we can. We also want to make sure that the setup is appropriate for you for your long-term growth. We also can help you with DME supplies. In other words, if you have questions on a variety of products involved with DME, you can use me as a sounding board. I'm familiar with a large number of manufacturers and different products and that sort of thing. Also, ongoing support. I have clients over the years that as the years go by, sometimes things change in systems, and when those changes happen and we're abreast and you have questions, we help you out with that with no additional fees that you have to deliver to us. People ask me, how can you do that for that price? It's real simple. There are various companies, state associations, colleges that pay me for speaking and assisting in the profession, and we do quite well. This is my way of helping you be successful, because after all, the point of the whole thing is that if you're not making money and you're not helping patients get better, then the whole thing doesn't work. For instance, lumbar braces. If you're not using them, you want to use them for 2 reasons, and that's because it will improve your clinical results. Your patients will do much better. This is one of the reasons Medicare, for instance, fee schedule is so high. They realize that the impact of the overall case on that patient is so profound as far as reducing ER visits, slip and fall injuries, surgeries, long-term PT visits, exacerbations of a chronic nature. And they're willing to pay the worst-case scenario for using a lumbar brace, for instance, is it's cost neutral to the overall Medicare case fee. So that's a good position. We never know what anybody's going to do in the future, but I believe that the future will continue to be a strong payout, especially in Medicare. For private insurances, the trend I've been seeing is that they're tending to drift towards Medicare documentation and pricing. So we're in a strong position there as well. And sound practice procedures for chiropractic physicians, part of the classes that I teach, we go over quite a bit of this stuff, and it's just astounding what you can do if you use a proper base, such as that new cervical brace that I just saw. It makes sense to me to try to add things like this to help your patients not only get over their injury, but stay well. One little pearl I'd like to throw out to everybody before we have to go is the main difference between a 2-7-3-1 and 3-7 brace, if that's okay with you all. Real quick, a 2-7 brace is primarily a small brace to help people that may injure themselves in activities. The 3-1 brace has support in flexion and extension primarily, so it'll help with all those kind of issues, adds a lot of stability. None of these braces, to my experience, reduces muscle tone, so they're very, very good at helping you maintain muscle tone. The 3-7 brace, a lot of people stay away from that, and I understand the various concerns, but I think you should consider using some of them, not just because it pays more, but because it offers lateral stability in lateral flexion right and left, and also rotation issues. If you have a chronic clinical problem with someone involving facet shear, herniated disc syndrome, sciatica, or stenosis, you want to limit that clinically to reduce inflammation in those areas and allow your other therapeutic procedures to work. So when that's indicated, that brace is not only can be used, but can be used profitably. We have a large number of patients in our office through the years, in our PT clinics, and otherwise that use a 3-7 and then step it down to a 2-7 later when the patient doesn't need the 3-7 anymore. It all depends on what the patient needs. Now, without further ado, I'd like to open it up to any questions or concerns that anybody may have at this time, okay?
Very good, Doc. So the clients, I'm going to pull those questions on there. For all the clients that are on the line, to just reiterate, number one, you should be carrying, while there are other people out there that sell the lower back braces, we recommend even getting all of them and carry them in the office. But you'll find that the quality that you're going to get from Aspen is going to be top-notch. So carrying those braces, having them on hand is essential. And then understanding why you're going to make those recommendations to the patient fits upon the patient's needs. The lateral stability, as Doc referenced, those details are going to be in those LCDs as we've trained you to reference. So if you're going to give out the lower back braces, know what the indications are and what type of brace the patient qualifies for so that the diagnosis can be validated in the billing. And what Doc does is that he's going to help you to, if you're not an accredited facility or need help with policies in the office, and as healthcare changes and requires more compliance manuals in the office, this is definitely the person to contact. Dr. Antos' group is going to help route you through and answer your questions and spend the time that you need to get the job done. So let's start off there. I'm going to pull open the line. I'll go through. You'll hear that I pull off the audio. Dr. Constante's office, do you have any questions for us this morning? Let's go with Dr. Dobbs. All right. Let's say, how about Amy Phillips? Amy, you have any questions?
I'm here.
I don't.
Very good. Do you have any questions? You good, Amy?
I'm good, Dr. Pat. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Dobbs, any questions?
We have, I think, Aspen coming to our office in a week or two for explanations. I'm sure they're going to cover the same thing, correct?
Jared? Let me pull off Jared there. I might have muted him. Sorry, Jared. Jared, he says that one of the Aspen reps is going to the office. What actually happens with an on-site visit?
Well, yeah, so our rep will come in. You know, obviously it's a little hard to show on static photos kind of how the brace works and how slick some of these new products end up functioning. So, yeah, I think it's key to have the local rep come in. He'll go through, he or she will go through the product, let you try it on, let your staff try it on, even talk some more about maybe protocols, and it's one of the services that Aspen provides to have someone locally come in and make sure that your staff sees the value in the product and is comfortable with the product, because whenever you bring on ancillary services, you know, you don't want to just make it seem like you're creating more work for your team, and I think the Aspen rep could really go a long way to help make them comfortable with that. So certainly go through the products. We also offer a whole host of lines of products, so he'll be able to look he or she will be able to go through those with you as well.
Great. So,
Awesome.
You know, when they come in, I know that they're well trained, Jared. We've had nothing but great experiences when that happens, and the more that the staff and office understands about the product and its use, the more that they're going to use it. So if you haven't talked with a rep or would like more clarification, let's say that you've had new staff, can they call up and schedule the rep to stop by when they're in the area if they haven't seen them in a while?
Absolutely. You know, if you want to give me a call or shoot me an email, I'd be happy to get you in touch with our local rep. They'd be very willing to come in and have that meeting with you. The other thing that they could do is provide you with some of the research and latest research and studies that have been done on back bracing. It's good to have that stuff in the files and in your references, and could even help with some of your medical necessity and those sort of things as well. So there's lots the Aspen reps really do help provide.
Great. So Jared, I'm going to turn it back over to you so you can put your contact info back up there for them.
Absolutely.
Who they should get in touch with, because the new clients, this will be a first-time visit, but the existing clients, since it's new products, it might be a good idea to just reacquaint yourself with your local rep, make sure that they can demonstrate the new equipment to you. The videos will help take some of that pressure off of your staff, Jared, but for everybody on the line, they should be calling up and ordering some of the new equipment anyway. So hopefully your phones will be ringing and nice and busy. You have the 800 number, which goes to the central rep, and then you've got your personal cell. You'd rather them call the 800 number and make sure that they establish their accounts correctly. Is that right?
Yes, that's one of the things, is that when you call the 800 number, you hit number 1. That'll put you onto our customer service team. We've got a team of a full staff of very educated and very competent people here. When you call up to place your orders, we could set up an account with you or do credit card. And when you do call up, make sure you're identifying yourself as a member of PBS. That'll lock you into that really aggressive pricing. You know, the pricing, we've been very aggressive with the group because we've had such a long-standing relationship, and we look at you as one entity. So you want to make sure in order to get that pricing, you're identifying yourself with customer service. Certainly, if they can get you your contact information for your local representative, but you know what, I have no problem answering further questions via my cell phone. You can even shoot me a text or an email, and I'll make sure I get you in touch with a local representative to help you out.
Right. So everybody that's on the line, make sure that you call up Aspen and confirm that they have listed you as a part of the PBS group so that you have that pricing. We'd hate for you to be charged more just because the system doesn't have you down as a PBS member. So maybe get in touch with your rep, get the new equipment out there, have a demo. Just do whatever you can, because this is something that really needs to get in. And if you're having problems getting paid on certain equipment, Dr. Antos, I'm going to turn it back over to you for you to put your contact info up one more time, just to make sure that they have the contact info, because if they're having problems with getting paid, is that something that, as a client of yours, you could help them navigate those waters?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So
people have all sorts of issues. Definitely with Medicare and with all the other things, there's certain things you can do to have the process go much better for you.
right, and just because I have you on the line, we've got a lot of clients that have been getting trouble with getting paid for the TENS units nowadays. I route them over to looking at the LCD reference on TENS units to establish the trial and document it properly. Are you seeing that Medicare is still paying for the TENS units?
The directive recently that they hired not pay for 10 units for chronic back pain. Anybody except for the situation that has to be approved. That's what we're hearing from Medicare at this time.
Try that one more time. You're breaking up there. You said that it's not paying for chronic lower back pain, but it is?
The only for chronic low back pain that he's considering paying for right now are research on the subject that they've pre-approved. So this 10 unit thing is going by the wayside for chronic back pain.
Right, so it has to be more of an acute situation.
Well, and in acute situations, they're looking real, the 10 unit thing may not be something that we can do in the future as a profit center, although but at this time, I think it's considered now by Medicare, anyway, as a benefit that they're not going to cover. Therefore, the patient would have to pay themselves. The new directive has come out of Medicare in the last few months.
Yeah, it's really going into effect now. So a lot of the clients are starting to have these denials, and what you're saying is that Medicare just doesn't want to cover the TENS units. It's going to be more of a cash service, but they still cover the other devices that are on the list that we standardly give out.
Absolutely. There's lots and lots of DME products, but I have to tell you, for chiropractic offices, orthopedic family practice offices, the gold mine still remains lumbar braces and spinal braces.
Right. And as far as what you're seeing with the chiropractic, if a chiropractor, are you seeing that Medicare is not even allowing chiropractors to become certified DME centers anymore?
Oh, no, not true. They're allowed to become, just as in the past, they're not allowed to go through the routing of certification that an osteopathic physician, nurse practitioner, or a physician's assistant has been able to do. Up until September of last year, chiropractors could go through the physician route, but that routing has changed. But they can still do it. It adds expense, a little time. However, it puts us actually in a very, very strong position, because when you go through accreditation, which physicians don't have to do, it really tunes your office up, and you can be assured that you are extremely compliant with all the multitude of nuances that come from various government agencies, OIG, even if people like the FBI or anybody's looking at your state boards. When you are accredited, I have to tell you that I watch these things. In the last 9 or 10 years, I'm not aware of a facility with DME accreditation that has even been investigated, let alone prosecuted. So the trouble's out there. When you have accreditation, it puts you into a space that's much healthier than you were before.
Absolutely. So everybody that's on this line with this call is in the process of adding medical services and creating a medical corporation if they're in the process or they already have it. And having gone through the accreditation process years ago, I did it mostly to ensure that I was going to continue to be reimbursed. What we are seeing is in some areas, even in California, that we've received notices that they weren't going to approve chiropractors alone as facilities. But you can go through that process, become accredited. But because they have medical, this is going to be something that is a lot easier for them to maintain that service center. And definitely the step that we're going to recommend, they utilize your services to go to the next step of becoming accredited.
Yes.
It's great that they're going to be a lot safer.
Something to clarify right here, and this is a good point, is that if a chiropractor owns 5% or more of the facility has to be accredited, whether you have medical personnel there or not. Second of all, a chiropractor can become, I have hundreds of offices that are standalone chiropractic clinics that continue to be accredited and certified and continue to bill products and receive payments. That's not an issue. You just have to do the paperwork differently than we did before. And on the other issue is that one will probably need to be accredited in the future to have private pay insurances such as Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, United Healthcare, et cetera, et cetera. It's not necessary now, although some are going to it. In the next 3, 5, 7, 8 years, we're going to see more and more and more of this.
Well, that's great news because that's exactly what we've been advising these clients for years is to go through that accreditation. And if the major medical carriers, they go to that requirement, it's all about money. To tell you the truth, they're going to be saving a lot of money as a carrier. So the clinics, it's definitely worth the process to maintain that service. And like you said, it's going to clean up their process, become a lot more compliant, which will withstand any investigation or audits. Therefore, they're safer. So that's great.
You cannot imagine the feeling that an office gets when they know that to the best of their ability and anybody else's ability, they're following the standards and procedures that the government has set up. And it just frees up something in your mind and soul, and your practice does so much better when you don't have that weight of fear over you.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Doc. That's great. Dr. Bruce, any questions for you?
No, thank you, Pat. Very good seminar today.
Thank you. Darcy, any questions for you?
Oh, doing good. I like the seminar, and certainly we'll be giving Dr. Antos a call here to set up everything.
Fantastic. That's a great call. That's what I want to hear. Jackie, any questions for you?
Yes, we're partially through our accreditation. We're writing the last manuals. Are there any pointers that you can give? You know, change is difficult, and especially with chiropractors. Can you give us any pointers for the implementation? Because that's probably the hardest part for me. Writing the manuals wasn't a problem, but the
so you've been working with an accrediting body to do the accreditation?
Yes.
Okay, which company is that?
HQAA, and we're on the final. We've got just 3 more manuals to write.
Right. So what Dr. Antos does is that what I'd recommend, Jackie, is contact Dr. Antos, explain your situation, and if while you're spending the money with HQAA, it wouldn't be a waste to have Dr. Antos on your side because he will help to speed that process up. There are quite a bit of manuals that need to be produced, but then after you get the accreditation, you have to connect it in order for you to get paid, and there's a lot more involved. With the size of your group, Jackie, I definitely would recommend calling Dr. Antos and seeing what he would advise, and his services are so reasonably priced that it would be beneficial to have him on your side down the line. But call him directly, and you guys can talk about what he can do to help you out, okay?
Is Dr. Antos going to be at the meeting at the end of June?
Doc, are you going to make it to the June training in Atlanta?
No, probably the next one. I unfortunately would have loved to have been there, but I have to be at a conference in Nuremberg, Germany at that time. So,
oh my goodness.
Matt, over you.
Yeah, but so for right now, guys, everybody get in touch with Dr. Antos to discuss and lay out the implementation of his services and the accreditation. It's something that you can start now and plan to start doing in the future. I know that some of you have a lot on your plate, but it's still one of those important parts that you can get lined up as far as implementation. Just as much as you're starting a new corporation, this would be something you do down the line after you have your staff, okay?
You know, Dr. Pat, this is Jared. I just wanted to throw in my endorsement. I've been with Aspen for 10 years now, and I've been working with Dr. Antos for the past few years, and I've from the people I've referred to him or have used his services, they always say it's the best money they ever spent. It's you know, for what you get, it's incredibly affordable, and I really can't highly recommend his services any higher. It's been I've seen a lot of practices kind of get halfway into things and then have him come in and just kind of untangle the knots and the red tape. So I just wanted to throw out that endorsement as well.
I agree. Thank you, Jared. I mean, what Dr. Antos also is going to do is that when he evaluates your practice, he's going to find out who's going to be the best match for you with the accrediting body. My experience was that it took me 9 months to go through this company. They left me out there. I didn't know what I was doing. We had to ask a lot of questions, and we didn't have a resource to go get the answers. What Dr. Antos is going to do is match you up with the best accrediting area person for your area. HQAA might not be the best for you. It might be somebody else that works a little bit better, and he's going to help with that process. So I definitely, everybody on the line, let's get in touch with Dr. Antos and lay that out. Dr. Parsons, do you have any questions?
No, not at this time.
Okay, Dr. Silva?
Hello, Dr. Pat. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, and talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, Kimberly, any questions for you?
No, sir.
All right, Dr. Wright? How about Dr. Dudley?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Very good, Mark. Mark Fedorsky. Mark? All right. How about Marcus Tryon? Melissa?
I'm good, thanks.
Very good. Michael? How about Mike Boozy? Neha?
Hi, Dr. Pat. I just had one quick question in regards to the accreditation process that we were talking about before. I know you recommend going with HQAA. Is there a reason that we should go with them? I know there are other accreditation bodies out there, but I just wanted to find out why is it that you recommend HQAA?
We've been recommending HQAA mainly because of price and the efficiency that they have online. Okay. It does real well for some requirements, I believe, in the state of Florida. But you know, if you're shopping for the accrediting body, now that we have Dr. Antos on our team, I would say let's go through him. He's going to have more knowledge of who would be best suited for your area. We have no real HQAA preference other than it's a company that was $1,000 cheaper than most of the accrediting bodies out there. But for some of you that need more help, it wasn't worth the extra savings. Do you know what I mean?
Right, right. Okay, and you do recommend that we get accredited by HQAA or any other accreditation body as part of the DME PCOS process?
Yeah, because the accreditation is something that came down the line a couple of years ago, and it's now becoming a part of the program. There's only, Dr. Antos, is it up to 10 accrediting bodies have been authorized? Is that the number that the government gave us?
Yes, these are basically people that have licenses from the government to do this work for the government. Just to hitchhike real quick on HQAA. They are a bit tedious. I'm able to help people get through these things a little quicker and better. I do have the owner's number in my cell phone. He enjoys our referrals. Okay. HQAA is being recognized more and more by different bodies, and I do recommend them. Their accreditation goes a lot farther than some of the other ones that are easier, so it depends on the person's needs and what they need. The key on accreditation is it's going to be an absolute must in the years to come. Now, if you're going to do Medicare at all, which is a high profit center for multidiscipline offices or chiropractic offices, you need accreditation.
Okay. All right. Well, that's great. Thank you so much for the information. That's all I wanted to ask.
Very good. Dr. Constante's office, any questions for you? All right. Well, guys, I'm going to do one more time. I'm going to pull off the audio. If you have a question, say your name, and then I'll mute everybody else so you can ask your questions. Any other questions?
Pat.
Yes, sir?
Pat, Bruce Long here. Just a hitchhike on HAQ. We did that certification. It was a few months to get it done. I had an employee on it about almost full-time every day. So it was wonderful. We got our certification, but it is a lot of work. And so having somebody assist you who really knows the ins and outs is invaluable. I'm sure I paid much more than $1,000 out in staff time just to get that handled.
Thank you, Bruce. Anything else?
No, I recommend Florida and haven't helped you.
Very good. Yeah, what Dr. Bruce was saying, I don't know if everybody heard, but he hired somebody full-time to run that process, and he spent a lot more money, most probably paying staff, than it would have cost him to have somebody that actually knew it, because as far as from my experience, I paid somebody myself to go through the pain. I didn't do it, and as far as giving you support, that's exactly why Dr. Antos has been so successful, because there's not a lot of people out there that are going to help you like they can help you. So I'm pulling everybody's audio off. If anybody has any more questions, please go ahead and ask them. Any more questions? All right, guys. Well, that's about it from me. Thank you very much, Dr. Antos and Jared, for jumping on today. Y'all did a great job. I think that our clients learned a whole bunch, and we'll be able to reference this training in the future to get in touch with your companies, use your products. Everyone should have that DME center in there. Stop looking at your statistics. You should be doing at least be looking at your durable medical equipment as a profit center. It should be anywhere from 10 to 15% of your gross collections based on our patients having nerve, disc, and muscle problems by a common scenario, the type of patients that we get. So utilize Aspen Medical for your bracing. Make sure that you call up Dr. Antos to get set up to do your accreditation. And thank you very much, Dr. Antos, for attending today. You did a great job. Any questions or any comments from you?
Nope. One other thing also, people that have their DME accreditation and certifications, they're also asked every few years to do revalidation, and we can help them with that as well.
Yes. So what Doc's saying is that once you get the accreditation, you're going to have to make sure that everything's standard and your compliance is in, and he can help your office even if you've already done the accreditation or have your PTAN number. Jared, any question or closing comments for you?
No, thank you so much to everyone for your time, and I certainly encourage you to get the Aspen rep to come in and start working with your staff.
Great, thank you very much. Have a great day, everyone. Good webinar.